Infrastructure. It's the silent underpinning of our modern world. It forms the backbone of our daily lives, often unnoticed but always essential. From the moment we wake up and switch on the lights to the time we commute to work, infrastructure is at play, making our lives smoother and more efficient. Roads and railways, bridges and tunnels, power grids and communication networks, these are the arteries and veins of a thriving economy. They connect people, facilitate trade, and enable the flow of information. Imagine a world without these critical components. It would be a world where economic activities grind to a halt, where progress is stunted, and where opportunities are lost. Without efficient and reliable infrastructure, businesses struggle to operate, goods and services falter in their journey to consumers, and economic growth is stifled. Companies depend on robust infrastructure to move their products swiftly and safely. When infrastructure fails, it creates bottlenecks, delays, and increased costs, which can be detrimental to both businesses and consumers. Think of a bustling port, its cranes lifting cargo containers onto ships bound for distant markets. This port is a hub of activity, a critical node in the global supply chain. It ensures that products manufactured in one part of the world can reach consumers thousands of miles away. The efficiency of such ports is vital for international trade and economic growth, or a high-speed rail line whisking passengers across countries at breathtaking speeds. These trains not only provide a fast and efficient mode of transportation, but also reduce congestion on roads and lower carbon emissions. They connect cities, making it easier for people to travel for work, leisure, and education, thereby fostering economic and social integration. These are not just feats of engineering, but powerful catalysts for economic expansion. They symbolize human ingenuity and the relentless pursuit of progress. Each new bridge, tunnel, or railway line represents a step forward in our collective journey towards a more connected and prosperous world. Infrastructure investments create jobs not just in construction but across a wide range of industries. When a new project is initiated, it requires architects, engineers, laborers, and a host of other professionals. This in turn stimulates local economies, as these workers spend their earnings on goods and services, creating a ripple effect of economic activity. They attract foreign investment as companies seek out locations with reliable infrastructure. Multinational corporations look for regions where they can set up operations with minimal disruptions. Reliable infrastructure means consistent power supply, efficient transportation networks, and robust communication systems, all of which are crucial for business operations. And they boost productivity, allowing businesses to operate more efficiently and get their products to market faster. Time is money, and efficient infrastructure reduces the time it takes to produce and deliver goods. This increased efficiency translates to cost savings, higher profits, and a more competitive economy. Private companies can bring efficiency and innovation to infrastructure projects. There are significant risks if they gain too much control. One major concern is the potential for profit-driven motives to overshadow public interest. Private companies may prioritize projects that offer the highest returns, neglecting essential but less profitable infrastructure. This can lead to unequal access to critical services, with underserved communities being left behind. Imagine a scenario where vital services like water supply, electricity, or public transportation are controlled by profit-oriented entities. The focus on maximizing returns could mean higher costs for consumers, making basic necessities unaffordable for many. When profit is the primary goal, companies may impose higher fees for access to infrastructure, such as toll roads or utilities. This can place a financial burden on individuals and businesses, reducing overall economic efficiency. Furthermore, private control can result in reduced transparency and accountability. Unlike government entities, private companies are not subject to the same level of public scrutiny. Decisions can be made behind closed doors, leading to infrastructure that does not meet the needs of the community. This lack of transparency can erode public trust and result in projects that fail to address the broader public good. To mitigate these risks, it is crucial to maintain a balance between public oversight and private involvement. Clear regulatory frameworks, robust oversight mechanisms, and transparent processes are essential to ensure that infrastructure projects serve the public good and contribute to sustainable development. Only through such measures can we ensure that infrastructure development remains aligned with the needs and interests of society as a whole. The development of infrastructure is a complex endeavor, often requiring massive investments and long-term vision. Infrastructure forms the backbone of any thriving society, encompassing everything from roads and bridges to water supply systems and telecommunications networks. These projects are not just about building structures. They are about creating the foundation for economic growth, social development, and overall quality of life. Historically, governments have played a dominant role in this arena, recognizing that certain infrastructure projects are simply too large or too risky for private companies to undertake alone. Governments have the unique ability to mobilize resources on a scale that private entities often cannot match. This has been evident in numerous landmark projects throughout history, from the Roman Empire's famed aqueducts, which revolutionized water supply and sanitation, to the United States interstate highway system, which transformed transportation and commerce. Governments have long understood the strategic importance of infrastructure. These monumental projects not only addressed immediate needs, but also laid the groundwork for future advancements and societal progress. Public funding, through taxes and government bonds, has been the traditional engine for these projects. This approach ensures that the financial burden is shared among the populace, reflecting the collective benefit derived from such infrastructure. Government bonds, in particular, have been a reliable method to raise the necessary capital, allowing for the timely completion of large-scale projects. However, the role of the private sector in infrastructure development has been growing in recent decades. As governments face budget constraints and increasing demands for modern infrastructure, private companies have stepped in to fill the gap. This collaboration has led to innovative solutions and more efficient project delivery. Through public-private partnerships, or PPPs, governments and private companies can pool resources and expertise to deliver complex infrastructure projects. These partnerships leverage the strengths of both sectors, combining public oversight and private sector efficiency. PPPs have been particularly effective in areas such as transportation, energy, and healthcare infrastructure. PPPs can offer several advantages, including access to private capital, innovative construction techniques, and efficient project management. Private companies often bring cutting-edge technology and specialized skills to the table, which can enhance the quality and sustainability of infrastructure projects. Additionally, the involvement of private capital can accelerate project timelines, ensuring that critical infrastructure is delivered more quickly. However, it's crucial to strike a balance between public interest and private profit. While private companies seek a return on their investment, the primary goal of infrastructure development should always be to serve the public good. This balance is essential to maintain public trust and ensure that infrastructure projects meet the needs of the community. Clear contracts, robust regulatory oversight, and transparency are essential to ensure that PPPs serve the long-term needs of the public. Detailed contracts outline the responsibilities and expectations of each party, while regulatory oversight ensures compliance with standards and regulations. Transparency in the process fosters accountability and public confidence, ultimately leading to successful and sustainable infrastructure development. China's infrastructure investments in Africa are driven by several strategic reasons. Firstly, China seeks to secure access to natural resources such as minerals and oil, which are abundant in many African countries. By investing in infrastructure, China can facilitate the extraction and transportation of these resources to fuel its own economic growth. Secondly, China aims to expand its geopolitical influence by building strong economic ties with African nations. Infrastructure projects such as roads, railways, and ports help to strengthen these relationships and create a network of allies. Thirdly, these investments provide opportunities for Chinese companies to enter new markets and gain a foothold in the African continent. However, there are potential dangers associated with this approach. For African countries, there is a risk of falling into debt traps, as they may struggle to repay the loans provided by China for these projects. This can lead to a loss of sovereignty and control over critical infrastructure. Additionally, the influx of Chinese workers and companies can lead to tensions with local communities and businesses. On a global scale, China's growing influence in Africa can shift the balance of power and create economic dependencies that may have long-term implications for global trade and politics. As we observe China's expanding footprint in Africa, it is crucial to weigh the economic benefits against the potential risks. The ultimate impact of these investments will depend on how both China and African nations navigate the complexities of these relationships, ensuring that infrastructure development leads to mutual prosperity and sustainable growth. History is replete with examples of infrastructure projects that have transformed societies and fueled economic booms. These projects, often monumental in scale and ambition, have left indelible marks on the landscapes and economies of their times. From ancient civilizations to the modern era, infrastructure has been a key driver of progress and development. The Roman roads, for instance, were not just marvels of engineering, but instruments of economic and military might, connecting the far-flung corners of the empire and facilitating trade and communication. These roads allowed for the swift movement of armies, goods, and information, effectively shrinking the vast distances of the Roman Empire. The economic impact was profound as markets expanded and trade routes flourished, bringing wealth and prosperity to many regions. In the 19th century, the construction of railroads across the United States and Europe unleashed a wave of economic growth. These iron highways opened up new frontiers, enabling the movement of people and goods on an unprecedented scale. Towns and cities sprang up along the tracks, industries flourished, and the very fabric of society was transformed. The railroads were the arteries of the industrial age, pumping life into the economies of the Western world. Railroads connected distant markets, reduced transportation costs, and spurred the growth of industries such as steel, coal, and manufacturing. Manufacturing hubs emerged, producing goods that could now reach far-flung markets. The ripple effects of the railroad boom were felt across all sectors of the economy, creating jobs and fostering innovation. More recently, the development of the internet and telecommunications infrastructure has revolutionized the way we live, work, and interact. The digital revolution has broken down barriers, connecting people and businesses across the globe in real time. Information flows freely, and the world has become a smaller, more interconnected place. The internet has democratized access to knowledge and opportunities, empowering individuals and transforming industries. The digital economy, fueled by high-speed internet access and mobile networks, has created countless new industries and transformed existing ones. E-commerce, social media, and cloud computing are just a few examples of sectors that have emerged and thrived in the digital age. Traditional industries, from retail to entertainment, have had to adapt to the new digital landscape, embracing technology to stay competitive. The pace of innovation has accelerated, driving economic growth and creating new opportunities. Well-planned and executed infrastructure projects can unlock economic potential, connect communities, and lay the foundation for lasting prosperity. They are investments in the future with the power to uplift entire regions and improve the quality of life for countless individuals. As we look to the future, the lessons of history remind us of the importance of visionary infrastructure planning and the enduring impact it can have on our world.